Welcome to the Cover Your Assets podcast, a show for the physician who understands the importance of protecting everything you've worked so hard to achieve. If you're ready to find the peace of mind that only financial security can bring, let's get started. Here's your host, Billy Gwaltney.
Hello, welcome to today's episode of the Cover Your Assets podcast. I'm your host, Billy Gwaltney. Excited to be with you again. The title of today's episode is What Happens to My Disability Policy If My Agent Quits the Business or is no longer around. We refer to these as orphaned policyholders in the insurance world. So as I've covered in other podcasts, when I work with physicians across the country, helping them secure their private, true specialty, own occupation disability coverage. And when you buy a private disability policy from one of the top specialty companies, the broker is assigned a small percentage of the premium you pay for the life of the policy. The point behind that premium, that commission that goes to a broker like me, is to incentivize me or whoever the broker is to try to keep you happy over the long term. It's an important role because the broker helps you navigate making sure that your contract has the definitions you want and need, helping you increase coverage, helping you keep pace with, making sure your address is updated and some of those simple administrative things. But the broker also is important at the time of claim, advocating for you, making sure that you're getting the care that you need and that your claim is actually approved. We've been involved in claims in the past where the client kind of started it and did it themselves initially through the process. It got a little complicated for them. They were initially denied, and then they got me involved personally and directly. And I got involved and we got them approved. And so the role of the broker is really important. If you call an insurance company directly to try to avoid a broker, they're going to send you to a broker. There has to be a broker. That fee is already built in, so you don't pay the broker anything extra. But a lot of people in the insurance business come and go. If you're working with someone who's less than 10 years in the insurance business, there's a pretty high expectation or percentage chance that they won't be doing this 10 years from now. And so what happens to your policy if you're kind of left on your own? Well, you can always deal directly with the insurance company. Okay. You can call the 800 number. You can try to log in online. You can contact them through their website or what have you. But what the insurance world calls policyholders that do not have an agent is an orphaned policyholder. They literally use the term orphaned. So we don't want to be an orphan if we don't have to be, right? So what happens if you're an orphaned policyholder is that your policy is unassigned. And so if you want any care or direction or input, you have to deal with the 800 number, the person on the other end of that line. And, that's a customer service rep making whatever they make per hour, doing it for however long they've been doing it and probably won't be doing it for much longer or in the future. We've just seen a lot of turnover with insurance companies in terms of their customer service departments, as is the case with a lot of companies. You could request that an agent be assigned to your policy, and they may have someone that they could recommend that you contact. I don't know. I don't know how they typically do that. Or you can find someone that maybe a colleague is working with and contact that broker and see if they might be able to take on your policy and become the agent of record and help you going forward. Okay. So you're kind of left trying to figure out who you can get to somehow care enough or be interested enough to be able to help you get what you need. This is true for life insurance also. It's not just true for disability insurance. Life insurance is the same way. And we do end up helping most of our clients with life insurance, but we only broker certain companies. And so because the insurance companies are not easy to deal with. And so we have relationships with these companies when it comes to disability coverage. They know who we are. The claims people know who we are. The people that know how to get things done know who we are. We've been able to get exceptions for people when their policy, for whatever reason, they didn't pay their premium and the grace period even expired because maybe they were out of the country for an extended period. We were able to get them an exception to get reinstated. That's not going to happen on an 800 number. They're not going to make exceptions typically. And so they're just going to go by the book. And so the role of the broker is really key. I say this till I'm blue in the face because it is really important. We've just seen situations where we've been able to get involved, and because of the relationship we have with the company, because of the business we bring them, because of the quality of the business we bring them, because of the length of time we've been doing this, and the length of time they're expecting us to continue doing this, we've been able to move the needle and get things done. You don't want to be an orphaned policyholder, but that's what you're left with if you go with someone that's really not a specialist, someone that's been doing it 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, or whatever. If they're walking up and down the halls of your hospital, at your training facility, they're probably not a specialist. There are only a dozen or so of us around the country. We don't walk up and down the halls of hospitals typically. We are usually dealing with thousands of clients across the country. And so we don't go to physical locations to just talk to one or two people at a time. Nothing against that. It's just that you get what you pay for. Okay. So be careful with that. Make sure that you're working with someone that you can check references on our website. We've got testimonials. You check our blog. You can, there are probably other colleagues around that work with us. So please reach out to me. I would be happy to discuss this in more detail with you and discuss my qualifications, why this is important, talk about situations where that's really mattered. Please feel free to reach out to me directly to schedule a time to talk. 704-270-2376. You can text that number again, 704-270-2376, and I would be happy to discuss in more detail. Hope you found this helpful. As always, I'm grateful for your time. I wish you the best. Would love to work with you, but whoever you work with, I do wish you the very best. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for listening to the Cover Your Assets podcast, a Work P2P production. New episodes drop every 2 weeks. If you've enjoyed the conversation, subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. For more tips and advice, visit the website and YouTube channel. Check the show notes for links. Join us next time for another episode dedicated to helping physicians like you get your disability insurance right and protect your way of life.